All right, Cubby, you were saying that you could have that game as like a best of 3, a best of 5. You need to be content. I don't know if my heart could handle that after that first game. That was certified banger, I think.
I'm in.
That was good. That was fantastic. I still need to calm down a little bit after that, though. So we're going to have a nice chill segment. I realized that no segment I could ever run would ever be better than the game we just watched. So sorry in advance, everyone. But we're going to sit down and chill out for a couple of minutes before we hop back into the game, okay?
You undersell yourself, but okay.
All right. Well,
no, we just watched a really good game. That's also a really good game. So to end it off for today, we're just going to have each of you do a presentation. It's also been a long day for the casters, so you don't have to go and fight on behalf of all players. Instead, you just have one presentation, one prompt to make it count, okay?
All right. What do we got? Who is starting? I believe Eric started the last time. Do you want me to start? Do you pick who starts?
Yes, I'm going to pick. And since earlier, Eric clean swept you in the very first game that we did, you're going to go first for this one. So for anyone who's just tuning in for the first time, this is going to be LCS Challenger Presents. So I'm going to be running a presentation, the given prompt, and our caster actually has to make the presentation. So should be fun. And to start things off, Cubby, your prompt as chosen for you by Deserex. Why is Jenkins Kennen about to revolutionize the top lane meta? You gotta fight for this, all right? You ready?
Okay.
I hope I lined these up right. All right, you can go ahead.
Let's see these.
All right. Well, so we've got some slides for you folks about why Jenkins Kennen is about to revolutionize the top lane meta. Now, guys, Jenkins, he has been known for his Kennen ever since the days where Deserex was actually covering Team Liquid's Academy team when it was Team Broadcast. Kennen, Jenkins, it's been synonymous. I remember last year he actually said that he hadn't played a ton of Kennen, so he felt like he wasn't the best at Kennen, but he still crushed a game on it because we were talking to them in an interview after he won and carried as Kennen. Now, Kennen, great with flanks. You know what Kennen's pretty damn good against? Squishies. Guess what's being played bot? Squishies, right? And you might be looking at me like, but who's played Kennen? Why would I care about this AP champ in the top lane when I can take AP jungle with Maokai and AP mid? Well, guys, we should always ban Maokai, all right? No more trees, no more nonsense in League of Legends, all right? Maokai's OP. That needs to get nerfed. We're going to take the magic damage from Kennen top. And the true artistry is going to be having a draft where we can put Kennen top and then flank people breaking the games of League of Legends, playing Ashe Varus bot lane, guys. This is so damn squishy. Kennen will absolutely blow up bot lanes like that, all right? What's my Twitter have to do with this? Is this going on my Twitter? Or is this like a new Twitter take
You're
I
making
have?
the slideshow, Cubby. Come on.
I don't want to be in here. I'm the one presenting. I'm not expecting to see my name. This is about Jenkins and his Kennen. My Twitter has nothing to do with Jenkins Kennen, all right? Jenkins Kennen's great. It's always been winning in NACL.
You know how this works, Cubby. You know how this works.
Top 5 top laner world.
Jenkins Kennen is a top 5 player champion combo in the top lane in NACL. Oh my god. All right. Well, I probably earned a few of those in the past, but it's 2023. We're reformed. All right. Moving on.
All right.
By the way, Prince versus Ruler was the best marksman matchup in the regionals last year. That was the true take. That was correct. That people didn't like.
All right. Just got to throw out there which takes are the all right.
That one was the right one. All right.
Moving on.
I tried to argue Kanavi and not Yagao. That's how you know I never wanted to win that matchup.
Moving on into the takes. All right. I'm sure Deserex, you're gonna love your prompt. Calm, you two. Chill.
Hold on. I know the prompt for Deserex.
I know. Deserex. Why Hoon in Time will save NACL. A moment to collect yourself. Are you all ready?
I'm good.
I'm good. All right.
Welcome, everyone. I'm here to teach you about the future of NA, and that future coincides with Hoonin time. If you want to go fast, if you want to dominate the top lane, well, hop on your scooter, give a little beep beep, and start hooning on down to the turret and taking it down with all those juicy turret plates. You know what? You gotta eat, you gotta get strong, and the only way to do that is to do it on Hoonin time. And speaking of eating, you know, Hunin time is anytime. So you can have Hunin time at dinner as well, where you can have all your condiments, put on the salt, put on the pepper, season it to your likings, because even if you're doing Thanksgiving, even if it's Easter dinner, it is still Hunin time. And what does Hunin time look like? Well, join with me on this. That is the face of Hunin time, of course, and that is my cat right there, Caesar. I have taught him the proper way to commit to the Hunin time, because we have a Hunin time family in this household. And if you want to continue seeing Hunin time, be sure to tune in next week for the Super Heavyweight Smackdown, where we'll have Hoon versus someone else. I don't know, probably Jenkins, because Jenkins got that dog in him, as Cubby has said so many times. But Hunin time is not about getting that dog in you. It's about getting that dog out of you and on the rift to perform your very best, as anyone else, of course, can. I want to thank you for joining us on this presentation.
Oh, the range of emotions. All right. Let's go.
I feel like I'm hoping that next game, Hunin time likes to eat twisted advances, or the Maokai ults as well. We got to get in front of those.
Well,
you one with the trees.
Don't want Hunin time to be a thing.
I heard Cubby make a reference of that during broadcast, and you're just nah. So I
knew
made
that
it just the more better. But we'll see how the second game shakes up. I mean, I don't think anything could top that first one, but hey, we can be hopeful, right? I'm gonna throw you off to draft, and I'll see you later.
All right, see you, Sierra. You know what time it is, Cubby? It is Hunin time, so let's get into the draft right now. Game number 2, Dignitas Challengers versus CLG Challengers. Let me just throw a question out there. Do you expect the draft to be any different? And question number 2, are you experiencing Hunin time right now as well?
I'm not yet, and yes, I do, as CLG is scared of Ashe first pick, and we'll see what happens with Maokai. It is something that, the side of Dignitas, they haven't prioritized nearly as much as the side of CLG, as I believe that XU actually is yet to play the tree. So I actually, if that's the case, I really hope that Dignitas actually takes away Maokai on 3 here. If not, expect a Yuumi ban.
In Kevy, the amount of authority he kind of commanded with that Maokai in a lot of these neutral objective fights, just the damn ultimate takes up the entire river, man. So
and it goes fast now.
Yeah, it goes pretty fast. One more ban to come out of both sides, and we will see what the first pick is, if that Maokai will still be on the table for any of these teams to take.
Well, I did say Maokai or Yuumi. We'll see if XU does get his first game of Maokai in, or if they still want to play into it. A lot of the first picks we've been seeing out of Dignitas, it actually has been a lot of Lucian. But if Lucian's off the table, I think that Zeri, Sejuani, or that Maokai could be the ones that we could see. And if not, it's still going to be Tomo's Caitlyn. And I got to say, especially in the waning phase, Tomo did perform very well in that Caitlyn. That Q flash was pretty nasty in order to get that first kill. As it will be the various Maokai. No surprise there. Heimer's up too, so I'm expecting the Heimer versus Lux potentially.
At this point, let's just run it back with little changes in draft here and there. For the most part, things are staying steady.
Swap sides.
We stop sides at the very least. Now with this Caitlyn locked in, waiting for the next pick to come in. Gonna keep that very, very strong front line and engage that we saw before. Juani getting hovered for the time being. Gonna have that locked in alongside with the Kate. It's pretty stock standard for Dignitas.
Now, there is an option. If they want, they could just slam Silas here. It is something that Insanity, he's been very much preferring the Azir early on. We've got to see a Silas from him, but Varus plus Maokai, those are 2 alts where you can just take Silas comfortably, and you're going to be all right in that game, especially with the Sejuani showing. That said, actually will not be the Lux, it's going to be the Karma, so no CC chain, but a bigger emphasis on push, and also still have the ability to deal with turrets. It's also something where they might be able to absorb the Maokai engage a little bit better this time around. We'll see if that ends up being the case.
Yeah, and you get a lot of utility that you get out of the Karma alongside that wave push. If you want to get away from that ultimate coming through, just mantra up that shield, get the whole team going as fast as possible. Maybe Hoon will step in front this time. But as the next part of the draft does come through, we got bot lanes secured, junglers secured. Once again, we are waiting on the solo lanes.
Part of me wants a Cinder ban. The other part of me thinks that there's actually a lot of magic damage on CLG already. So I'm kind of curious if Dignitas see that. They're going to take away some physical damage champions. I really like the Gangplank. being taken away from Jenkins is something that's really useful in the Kate. And also, if Dignitas are thinking about a Cinder themselves, something that we haven't seen out of Insanity yet this split, but something I expect all of our mid laners to be able to pilot. I think GP would be very powerful into the Kate plus whatever, or Cinder combo in this case, whatever immobile mid laner you want to choose.
So the next ban to come in is Jace. Top laners across the board so far banned away. A counter pick will be ported over to CLG Challengers if Jenkins wants to play with that a little bit. I would like to see that. I mean, we've seen some creative picks coming out of Jenkins so far. The Kled was locked in. The Warwick has been played by Jenkins.
Yeah, so Kassadin, even with a lot of magic damage already showing for CLG, they still feel like they need to take that away. As I said, the Jace ban tells me that Renekton could be a very easy possibility here for CLG. Just something that you can use to deal with the Sejuani lane. Also, you deny the combo from Sejuani, which is very oppressive to deal with. And it does give counterpick over to Copy in the mid lane. So we'll see if Copy gets creative with anything that he wants to pull out. I still am expecting likely a Gnar here on the side of Hoon, but maybe he wants to use something that can synergize with that Sejuani.
Right now, the Akali locked in for Insanity is throwing down the gauntlet at the moment. Our hovered, biggest fan of it, that Kennen almost like they
Jenkins. You gotta flash it.
During some of our memes there, but yeah, Jenkins, oh so popular, did make that Kennen a big pick in previous seasons, but the lock-in will be the Gnar.
So stuff that can control Akali. I actually really like Galio into Akali, but Galio is pretty booty and everything else that's showing for Dignitas, so it will just be that Sylas. As Sylas, you have access to Mega Gnar, Sejuani ult, and Akali ult. That's enough for Sylas to be useful. And of course, this is part of Copy's namesake. As Copy, you can copy a ult from someone else. Originally was a Sylas Zed player when he first made the climb in the ladder back in Season 8. So I'd love to see Copy on this champion. Always a pleasure to watch. See if he can use it to the max in this game, as he is selecting what most consider a matchup that is favored for Akali.
Maybe we got to get Copy on Viego as well. Copy cut a few more champions with that. So Copy being on the Sylas. Copy's already shown some very, very capable, amazing plays so far in the early stages. The more standout ones have been on the Akali. Sylas is a pretty big one to kind of turn around a lot of these fights thanks to the ultimates he can steal away. So this should be pretty good coming out from CLG. I do like their composition, at least in the grand picture of everything.
Yeah, I think a big thing for Copy, and I'm really curious about, again, Dignitas, they have lane priority. Outside of top lane, I think that they have the ability to take lane.
CLG, your guess is good as mine, man.
That was, unfortunately, CLG, that was a defeat. That's what that game's going to look like on the scoreboard, but it was a very close one, very, very entertaining, and we'll see what can happen in the next one, is that Q goes through the turret.
5v5, let's throw down. ARAM, it's North America.
They're just trying to farm some gold here over for Tomo. As, yep, that's, you can't fight Varus level 1. The E is too strong. So, will be the posture, taking away some turrets, getting some poke, as expect both bot lanes to base, and we'll see if Diamond is looking for an interrupt to make sure that there is no sweepers. So,
let's see the gold. Who won out this trade? I see 30 gold went over to Breezy.
Ooh, not bad.
5. Yeah, 45 went out to CLGC.
I do think that start... okay, so Heimer plus Varus actually based.
Cubby, you're not fun.
I know. So, because they based, this does mean that the Kate Karma gets the lane first, and it is really tough now for Varus plus Heimer to actually walk back in. So, what I would have liked to see there from Dig was to maybe... I don't think they had time to pull the wave and deny a creep, but I do want to see them play as far up as possible and make it really difficult for Varus Heimer to enter this lane. As really well done.
Late to the wave. First minion going to go down right there.
They got XP, so that's the important part.
XP, so they won't fall behind, at least in the XP for that early level 2. You're still going to get the push coming out for Dignitas' bot lane, and
that's big.
Meech is not appreciating it.
Well done. Double Comet Eat from Dignitas wasn't quite necessary, but it's alright. Still doing a decent job. This one, just dealing with the turrets. Really like how Tomo is utilizing the brush early, as will help stack up the headshots. And, it is health bar being traded a little bit in favor of CLG, but Dignitas, they're the ones that are going to have 2 first and the push, as looks like XU this time around, we'll see what kind of clear XU wants to go for. It does look like he is actually going to go maybe get up in the face of Kevy. So we'll see if XU can get anything done.
That sweeper right there means that Copy and Kevy both going to be very well aware where XU is on the map. Kevy waiting in the wings right now. Sapling comes out. They'll both go over with that blast plan. Kevy pushing XU to the wall, letting him know, I know where you are. I got eyes on you.
It was well played from Kevy, but XU, he knows that he has his bot lane with him. So he's really just trying to find Kevy. And while this is going on, it does allow for Hoon to play very aggressively in the top side and utilize that range advantage. So we'll see if he can get this. Both junglers will have smite.
Bro coming out of all three lanes from Dignitas early, and Kevy winning the smite fight will secure his own blue buff.
All right, so Kevy now won't be able to get this Gromp. XU didn't smite, so Kevy doesn't want to finish this, but the bot lane can support.
It's a lot of time to spend there,
yeah, we'll see if Kevy wants to try and go for the Gromp. Looks like not, but that's a nice steal there from Kevy. XU had the advantage on that one, and Kevy sneaks it away. Well done.
I'd appreciate that. It wastes a lot of time of XU, who was just trying to take that blue, trying to be a nuisance. Kevy getting the better, and the bot lane of Dignitas really getting the better of these trades. Sub 200 health for both Meech and Breezy, forced to recall.
Yeah, they're heading to the hills, and you can see Meech, he's level 2, Breezy's level 3, so that's a loss of XP as well, and they're going to drop those 2 waves. So the bot lane of Tomo and Diamond, the one that came over from FlyQuest for Dignitas, beating out the bot lane that CLG stuck with going into this year. I think the Cake Karma, I mean, that's a ton of push, but God, they're making great use of it. I really think that how that level 1 went, the fact that Verizon had to come to lane late was a big part of that. So it's some of the leadership of Tomo and Diamond, so that knowledge showing is now XU trying to take away a camp.
Utilizing this priority established by Insanity, just going to go for the fight. Breezy has shown numbers advantage over to CLG, but can it come in fast enough? The answer is going to be yes. First blood picked up by Breezy, chasing down onto Insanity, flashes over the wall to try and get something back, but Kevy will slam jam. Thank you, ma'am. 2 kills over to CLG.
And the full commit from CLG, I mean, that was desperately needed for them, as the bot lane was going nothing but in favor of Dignitas. That invade from XU was just too deep, and Kevy, CLG able to trade it out, as Breezy being there, got to give him credit too. That helps off the recall. So really well done from Breezy and CLG to really turn around what was a disastrous first few waves in favor of Dignitas.
All that pressure into the bot lane, Breezy on the recall, just runs straight over to the jungle, helping out that situation. Gotta love that for Breezy, who, again, it's someone we highlighted earlier on for the great play that we've been seeing and roaming out to this fight at the perfect time.
Copy hitting level 5 here is big. He actually gets mana. I love the preemptive flash. Just go over. And Kevy, great twisted advance, actually dodged out on the permafrost from the Sejuani. So he doesn't go down, and then the Q flash just to make sure that Insanity couldn't get the auto attack off on him. Really well played by Kevy, and showing off some of those mechanics even on the Maokai.
The hands being swung over by the Raptor camp. Kevy showing up, but at this point, we'll have to deal with XU not too far off in the mid lane. Kevy putting a sapling over there, now looking to, just be a menace. Smite stealing away the Raptor camp.
Oh man, Kevy's winning all the smite steals. Sending the message here to XU, and again, Maokai, if you get ahead, he's real tough to deal with. And also, CLG, I think it's worth noting, it's going to be Rod of Ages here for Copy on this Silas.
Tether.
Hold on.
Diamond looking to get out. Piltover Peacemaker does not land from Tomo.
They were trying to chain it with a root. Yeah, Diamond flashed a little bit early as he got a little bit nervous. And now Kevy, him and XU are both here on the hover. We'll see if either jungler can get involved. Important to note, XU does have flash.
Kevy's coming. Kevy looking for Diamond. XU first to the punch, though. Now Meech trying to get away. Still has flash available. Breezy already burnt his. Kevy. The twisted advance to follow through onto XU. Has to get away from these traps. Eats a Piltover Peacemaker on the run out. Tomo looking for Meech. Looking for Breezy. Can't get close enough. A nice turnaround coming out for the bot lane of Dignitas.
Honestly, yeah, good play from XU to be here. As trading out 1-for-1, this is going to be well worth it. The fact that Cake Karma, again, get to stay in this lane and deny more golden XP over to the Verizheimer. So well done from Dig. Again, understanding their win con and playing to what is strong at the moment.
And look at the CS, by the way. Tomo has really styled upon Meech. all this early denial, zoning them out away from the wave, and even these fights, forcing Meech to recall means he's away from the wave, not farming up.
Now, as we get back in this map, I am curious. It looks like right now, so Kevy, he just started back on his Gromp, so he's actually going to reverse clear up to the top side. So this kind of tells me that CLG, they've given up on their bot lane. If anything, they might swap them up to the top lane again to maybe contest this Rift Herald, but they've accepted the fact that this bot lane is going to be going in favor of Dignitas with Kevy pathing away.
Said Kevy will head over towards that top side. Jenkins, copy. Someone to try and play around over there. Rift Herald is still available. Jenkins on the Renekton now in the bottom lane. Here we go. Breezy getting caught out. Yeah. Double stun coming through onto Breezy. Tomo gonna feed that kill over. Nope. XU says it belongs to me. I earned it. I came down here. I'm cashing in.
Yeah, Breezy can't be up there if this is going to be the map play for CLG with Kevy reverse clearing. So just not respecting, where he's at in the map right now, given what his team's up to. And this will be a free Herald for the side of CLG, which is good, but will be Dragon responded with by Dignitas, which of course, when you have a Caitlyn comp, stacking up those dragons is always favorable.
So much pressure coming out from Dignitas's bot lane. Meech is having a hard one right now. It's 1.3k gold in the pocket of Tomo. Ahead of Meech, that is. The net comes out with a burst of damage. XU eyeballing this bottom lane, wanting to set up the dive. Meech spotting it out with the control ward. XU not jumping forward with the Arctic Assault just yet, but XU has just been focusing down into this bottom lane time and time again.
Moon will be popping Mega here, able to create some distance. As a little bit of trade in the top side. Dignitas get a 4th plate.
Kidding.
So again, while Herald's taken, I will very much favor the bot lane of Dig having the gold XP now, and not to mention all the denial that Dignitas' bot lane has experienced. Is again, Meech is forced to base and forced to drop a wave. Dragon still hasn't been taken by Dig, but I gotta say, I do really want them to take it soon, because I think this is a game that, much like last, where, stacking up those dragons, never bad.
We gotta start crowdsourcing Meech and Mythic.
Yeah.
XU. That tower is gonna go down. Yeah, please. Let's get it going. Meech needs something. Needs some level of income to survive this bottom lane. Dignitas are not allowing anything from CLG.
Yeah, so keep in mind, in the last game, when things got really bad for the Varus, they actually swapped the lanes. And they were able to kind of sack Jenkins a little bit to get Meech back into things. That has not happened in this game. It didn't happen for the first Rift Herald, so I wonder if anything is changed there. Is okay.
Sanity able to get through one stun, still trying to escape, but there it is. Ultimate going to be used out of Copy, steals it from Insanity and lays it into him.
Yeah, that preemptive flash from Copy just guarantees that no matter what Insanity does, he's still going to pick up the kill with the Akali. As good play by Kevy. Again, that is something with burning the Maokai flash. You can easily rinse and repeat, given the Maokai Silas, so well done. Again, Kevy does a nice job of finding some strength, but oh boy.
He will not leave this bottom lane alone. He will try again. Finds money, lands the ultimate onto Breezy.
Yeah, they can still stick around as back and forth between our junglers here, each with 100% KP. I gotta say, I think that Kevy is doing some really good things, especially playing from behind. So do want to give Kevy some credit, but still, XU, this bot lane's ahead, and the fact that he just keeps on playing towards Tomo Diamond, making the game look pretty easy for the side of Dignitas here so far.
I'm enjoying Kevy so much more now. I said it during the Champ Select. In summer, Kevy did not look good. Subbed in very, very late. This time around, Kevy's a completely different monster, making these fantastic plays for CLG Challengers and getting all their lanes active, showing up when he needs to. Kevy, completely different beast in this season.
I mean, League of Legends is a team game, right? More time you spend with your team, the better you can get. As I like this from Diamond, actually. So CLG has gone for that swap that I teased just a little bit later. They accepted that their bot lane is doomed. But with that said, Jenkins is now the one being sacked again, and we'll see if he can get anything done. While Meech is catching back up, Insanity, he does have access to that ultimate now. We'll be able to sneak on out of the Maokai Silas.
Now, pressure from CLG is now being placed over onto this top side. Part of it, you can see why. Tomo just grabbing that first brick by himself in the bottom lane. CLG are going to look to send Jenkins over into this bot lane to match and trying to handle some of that pressure.
He's just going to be trying to limit how fast the tower can be taken. As with the current setup, I gotta say, Meech is on his lonesome against this Gnar. So we will see if Meech, is vulnerable to a dive or a play. You can see XU starting to get up here. Kevy's on the hover. I think this is necessary for Kevy, and he's even under threat.
Kevy chased out. Meech up there. A tower in bottom lane. I mean, it went down to beyond half health. That's how quickly Tomo has been taking a lot of these turrets. And that pressure is still going to be applied by the bot lane of Dignitas for a little bit longer. CLG are looking topside.
So this is the Herald play. We'll get a little bit of gold injection in the Meech, but this will be split with the Heimer. I don't mind that. I think Rywise is actually a very important item for Heimer to get. He's fine with gold. But again, CLG just on the back burner of this game. It's another 2k gold deficit. And, CLG, they're a team where last year with this core, they had some really strong early games. I think that this is a draft where, it is a Caitlyn lane, and that is maybe favored in the laning phase, but still, Dignitas, both these teams, we have a lot of respect for in NACL. Both these teams, full strength in the early season, and Dignitas, these early games, have been very impressive for them.
2k lead right now coming out for Dignitas. Turret plates are about to fall down. Tomo doesn't even care about that timer, given he's already taken that first turret in the bottom lane. Seems like attention is shifting from that top side into the bottom lane. CLG getting a few recalls in. They've called Breezy and Kevy. So got a minute 20 before this dragon does spawn. Trying to secure their own blue buff as Dignitas give a little bit back over to the jungle of CLG.
CLG, we're 1 minute out from this dragon. I still feel like CLG just has no contest, but I say that Meech is basing, and Meech is walking towards the mid lane. So, and again, CLG does have a lot of poke between the Maokai, the Heimer, and the Varus. So we'll see if that can be enough to get something done.
You can see that poke coming out of Tomo using the ace in the hole. All because that dragon is spawning soon. This is to set up for neutral objectives, get a little bit of damage in early where the fight does break out. Dignitas will take anything they really can right here as they start all convalescing into the mid lane.
CLG 25 seconds away from this dragon spawning now. They're still trying to fight for the Herald on the top side. I think Dignitas, the gold influx, more valuable than the dragon for them. I must say I agree. So Dig are just going to brute force this. And CLG, I really don't think they can contest. I think they need more time for Meech to at least get one mythic to his name. And we'll see if they can at least maybe take control over the bot side as Copy's thinking. Good dodge. That's one cooldown out. Maybe they can think about it now.
Yeah, they are thinking about it. Ultimate can be used with Kevy. Ooh, able to root onto Tomo, still standing in there. Rift Herald went down. Not sure who was able to secure it. Still Dignitas are posturing forward. Looking for Copy. They're not going to grab Copy. And now here we go. Engage coming out of Kevy. Gets it to XU. Hoon trying to hold the line to protect the boar. But is it going to be enough? XU falls to 200 health and Dignitas are able to stay standing.
I gotta check the scoreboard to see where the rift is too. Did that thing just die? Oh, we just have a little bit of a poke fest for the eye. Okay, no, Insanity was able to grab it on the back half as Insanity. I actually really like the start to the fight that Insanity had. He was zoning out both the Renekton and the Varus. I think that was pretty well done. And because the fight, health bars were traded so heavily on each side, each team kind of has to reset here before the dragon spawns. And again, Dignitas sending CLG back to base. This means the CLG can't trade, so Dignitas have a good chance to pick up both objectives here.
And returning right back to the top side, Meech and Breezy will meet this minion wave. Tomo and Diamond can pretty much take the reset when they want to try and set up for this Drake, but it's not even really going to be needed since the attention of the bot lane CLG's there, as well as Kevy, XU, hovering not too far off.
This is what I wanted from Tomo and Diamond in the last game, and I'm really happy to see it now. As again, this Caitlyn, just get her to the lane where she can take turrets. That's why I thought the Syndra, taking that away could be important, because that wave clear really did help CLG stall out the game in the last one. But this time around, Tomo doesn't go into the wave clear. He goes in the matchup he was already winning and heads top, as we're going to take another look. So Copy sidestepping this actually opens up a window where CLG feels like they can do something, and Copy puts this fight very well on the back half as him and Kevy are able to sync up, find a little something. But let's see. Oh, man. Just 100 gold off. That's a bit of a bummer here on the side of CLG, as I will say the fight Copy does something really clever here. Actually buffers the Meganar to stay on top of Hoon. But not going to see that in the back half. So we are going to see that Second Dragon being picked up. Hextech Soul on the Rift, but it will be going over to CLG, so they do manage to snag that. But Dignitas still focused on the gold, and the objectives not to knock down that last outer on the map for them.
That was quite the display coming out for Dignitas in trying to get all that gold, funnel it onto Tomo. So Tomo got first brick in the bottom lane. Tomo got second brick over on the top side, and now finishing off the trifecta of outer turrets. A huge influx of gold. I mean, that's the Gale Force completed, rapid fire. Meech still working on that second item. Oh my goodness, I think I saw 3K separating the marksman.
Yeah, that would be about correct. So the 3K gold lead sits on Tomo. So all eyes on Tomo again. I'm also curious, you know, Tomo does have cleanse, but how fast does Diamond pick up Mikhail's? I think it's going to be Mikhail's second. I do like the Shurelias a lot against Maokai. I think that might be why they swapped up the Lux for the Karma. As just what Karma brings to the table does make it a lot easier to absorb the Maokai ultimate. Make sure you're creating some space and able to at least make sure that it doesn't wreck you. That was something that Dignitas definitely struggled with in the last game.
Still in the way the mantra. We'll deliver it over to Diamond. Dignitas. They set up onto this top side. Insanity's over there, does have half health, but we shouldn't be expecting too much to be going on right now. We still got a minute before Baron comes up. 3 minutes, 30 seconds before we get the Ocean Drake. So there's not much of a contest to be had over any objective. Right now, Dignitas are just fighting for vision.
I gotta say, in this game, with the focus that Kevi was able to put on the mid lane, you know, CLG did put their chips in trying to make sure the Copy was okay. As their bot lane was kind of getting bashed, they realized they couldn't help out. So I think our eyes again are on Copy. I mean, this is a champion that he really made a name for himself on. I really want to see if Copy can step up and, you know, be that big carry for CLG. The one new member this game is Kevi.
Engage comes out from XU.
Nice,
the damage, it gets added up to death for Kevi. You're losing your jungler now for CLG. Puts Dignitas into an interesting situation. If only it was a little bit later and he can grab that Baron.
Baron will spawn after this wave. I think that what I would do right now if I'm Dignitas, shift Caitlyn down the bot lane. Like, you have a wave coming in. Yeah, there we go. Dignitas, they're going to go play off this wave, make sure the bot enter is theirs. I really like this. Again, just move the Caitlyn around. Utilize her ability to take the turrets, take the structures off the map, take away CLG's room to operate. I think this is how you can beat Maokai. I was talking about this a lot, about how you can beat Kassadin. But CLG, they want to contest this one a little bit as Copy.
Diamond's leading. XU doesn't have ultimate, halfway on the cooldown, but same thing with Kevi. Those are the big engage tools for both squads right now, stealing away the blue buff. Dignitas will just hex gate out. Not going to contest for anything else, but Copy is fishing right now. Ooh, doesn't land it onto Diamond, but here comes Insanity on the flank. The big playmaker for Dignitas will take down Breezy. Will take down Meech. A double kill for Insanity before Copy gets his number, and Jenkins will get turned into Gator. Boots taken down by Hoon.
The Shurelias from Diamond took away whatever engage Copy thought he had onto the bot lane of Dignitas, and instead, Insanity, he's the one that turns on the bot lane of CLG as Dignitas win the fight, take down another structure. I love how they're playing around Caitlyn this game. I thought Tomo had an outstanding lane in the last game, but Dignitas did the best job of rotating Caitlyn around the map to make sure they're getting structures. This time around, Copy's not on a wave-clearing mage, and Caitlyn's just able to melt through everything that she lays her eyes on with the way that Dignitas is playing. This is really good. Much improved from the last game. Love to see that.
And with that, I mean, look at this flank that comes out from Insanity right now. Over the Raptor cap, spots out both of the bot laners of CLG.
And again, they're so far behind. It's just mincemeat for Akali, who's living the dream. No CC. Insanity happy to trade that 2 for 1. And Jenkins falls on the back half. Again, very well done by Dignitas. A great setup as CLG went fishing at the wrong time, came up empty, and Insanity came up with everything.
Oh, and we are not done. Copy caught out. XU Insanity hopping on to Copy, getting caught out by the tethers. We'll be able to break the tethers, but the body of Copy is broken by Insanity.
Copy found in the side lane. That's a mistake that you cannot be making at this point, as he's the guy that's fed for CLG. He's fallen twice now. Again, if anyone's going to make plays, it kind of has to be him, but the fact they're going sideways means that Baron could be opened up as Tomo does have that red buff very strong on the Caitlyn. You can see some of the poke being put down after this wave. You'd think they would think about the Baron, but I think they just want to take that Dragon Desarux as they're shifting their power towards the bot side. And use Copy's death to make sure this Dragon is cleanly theirs.
Yeah, they're heading in that direction, shifting everything, but Insanity, who might be a little bit too far forward right now, gets a sidestep, will not get stunned out by the grenade. Heavy Breezy will not pursue, so Dignitas, it's an easy Dragon over in the bottom lane, picked up by Tomo and Exu.
Honestly, I think Insanity could have won that 1v2. Like, he doesn't have health, or doesn't have ult, but I think he just would have traded one.
I'm kind of surprised Insanity didn't take that 1v2.
There was no reason to. So,
sure there is. Ego.
Oh, all right. I mean, there's always ego for that, Desarux. We love some ego here.
Yeah. Insanity brings the best ego. That's all I'll say about that. Is still focusing mid lane with Tomo. XU over on the sidelines is looking for Kevy, but Ultimate's not going to land. Kevy does flash fast enough. Chain of Corruptions. It finds the marksman, but no one to follow through. Hoon caught out. Jenkins, Copy, looking for the chase. But the teleport is enough to dissuade CLG.
Still 2 summoner spells, so well done from Jenkins and Copy. I do like that solution, again, from Copy. At least doing something on the map. That's good play. It's something you can punish, that it's down. And Dignitas, they really don't want to start up this Baron. I think a lot of that has to do with the poke from Varus, and then the magic damage debuff that Baron does put down. But I've noticed in both games, I mean, Caitlyn DPS's Baron pretty quickly. Yeah. Much faster than the lethality Varus. Dignitas is not wanting to take this. Instead, they really want to make sure they just maintain control and don't give CLG the ability to find a way back in with a potential steal.
3 items completed on Tomo. And you're still working on your second for Meech. How painful this laning phase has been.
With the cheaper build.
And to be fair, like, Meech is not a bad laner. Dignitas just exploited this bot lane very, very early, zoned him out, and this Varus has been in famine mode.
Not only that, but also, this isn't the first lane that Tomo and Diamond have gotten the best of. I think they've been playing very well in this early season, along with the rest of Dignitas.
Ultimate over the wall. So much damage on the Kevy. That's a tank you just saw get shredded.
Demonic Embrace not enough. That's a... hold on, Copy.
Copy.
That's not the side of the map you want to be on.
Yeah, you're in no man's land right now, Copy.
No flash.
One more stun to go through. You got the Gnar ultimate, but it's all for show.
Yeah.
Tomo goes on a killing spree.
Oh, man. I guess they didn't think the Kevy would fall that fast. Might be able to live through the Demonic Embrace, but that's a smite down. That's a mid laner down. You got to be a Baron down now in favor of Dignitas, who... I mean, the last game was hectic. But I think the similar identity, the small adjustments that Dig made have just been better. I've really appreciated that from them.
Look, Meech is trying to get a steal with the piercing arrow, staying on the other side, but Insanity's knew exactly where he was. Will chase away the remaining members of CLG, and just like that, Dignitas have Baron, a 10k gold lead.
And this Dignitas team, I mean, from talking with Insanity before, too, I was like, hey, what are your thoughts going to CLG? Like, is this a matchup you look forward to? And he's like, as long as we don't int, we feel good. And I will say, I think that game 1, they could have played the Caitlyn comp a little bit cleaner, but I think they've really made those adaptations coming into game 2, and I got to give Dignitas a lot of credit for that. I think the small adjustments they made with throwing in the Karma and also denying that wave clear mage for CLG with just what ended up happening with the comp that was built out, it really has helped Dignitas make sure that the spot lane advantage did turn into a Queen Snowball. So props for Tomo and Diamond for making sure that was the case, and props to all Dignitas for playing the map, I think, a lot cleaner in this game.
Now, small adjustments, but big results for Dignitas. CLG, this might be their last stand right now as they're looking for a team fight in. They're getting the engage going so far. Copy's going deep onto the backline, gets caught out, will not take down Diamond. Insanity runs through, finds the backline, 3 down just like that. Meech taking a chunk of damage from Insanity. Hoon with the chase will throw a rock at Meech. That's all you're gonna get. No dubs here today because Dignitas want 2.
Yeah, they threw everything at Tomo, and I think the McHales came up clutch from Diamond, actually saved Tomo's life, who's back to full health thanks to the BT, and that's going to be game. All she wrote is Dignitas take the 2-0.
Dignitas, very experienced roster, and they're all coming together. Teamwork makes the dream work, and in week number 2, going against some tough competition in CLG Challengers, Dignitas will take a 2-0.
And I think the thing for me with Dignitas, again, what we love to see out of our Challengers teams, improvement, right? That's a similar comp, similar identity. They're deciding to give away Varus Malachi to take the Caitlyn. What kind of changes do we make? Hey, game 1, we had a lot of trouble with Lux. Like, we felt like we could have a strong lane, but Lux against Malachi felt really bad as the game goes on. What could be better? Well, what about Kate Karma? We still get the same amount of push. We can deal with what we expect to be a Heimer. That works. That's one adjustment. Then 2, we had Caitlyn matching Syndra mid. Syndra had a lot of wave clear. The game really slowed down when we weren't able to keep Caitlyn matching up the Varus Heimer. So what happens this game? We keep Kate in the side lanes. Keep her where she can keep on taking turrets. Those are some of the small things I really like to see, and what I expect out of a team that is that experienced as Dignitas. I mean, I think they made those small mistakes in game 1, but not in game 2 with the same identity. So really big props to them for kind of changing up a couple of those things and making sure that game 2 went a lot cleaner. Because the series that should have been, it was pretty close to a 1-1. It does end up being a 2-0 in favor of Dignitas.
They funneled so much of that gold onto Tomo, but you can absolutely see why it worked out. You know, Dignitas coming together, they learned their lesson in game number 1 and were able to actuate it in game number 2 for the 2-0 sweep. Congratulations to Dignitas. We're going to take a moment to take a break, but on the other side, we'll have an interview. Sierra will have you with Dignitas.
Our final Verizon post-game interview for the day, and I'm sitting here talking with Diamond after that victory. First off, I'm not gonna lie, that first game, I wasn't quite sure you were gonna be able to pull out that win. Talk to me a little bit about that game, because you had a lead, and then had no lead, and then the back door. What was going on?
I think we missed some like error like in the mid game. I think we had like timing where we let them cross to like the bot side and then enter river, and then we were like so far ahead that we're like, it doesn't matter, like we'll just fight them and then split the fight. But I mean, after that the game was kind of hard. Okay, it's kind of balanced, so it was pretty hard to play because no one can tank the ult, and it's just like yeah, well, but then we didn't have enough damage to kill the Nash, so the whole game was a bit hard. But I mean, at the end we're just like, fuck it, let's go mid, and it worked out.
I mean, it worked out at the end, right? What were the comms like, the energy at that moment when it's like, oh, this game's not going well? Hey, wait a second.
Actually, well, when we were at the end and we're like stuck on the side and we had one creep mid, Tomo was like, we have one creep TP on it, and then like we just like set it on mid, and everyone was just like, at the end everyone was screaming, like everyone was happy. But yeah, during that time it was like a bit, we did some confidence from Tomo to go down mid there. But it worked out.
Love that. Those split-second calls that make all of that difference. So then, this roster that Dignitas currently has, you're a player with a lot of experience. You've played on a few different teams. How is this roster compared to some of the teams that you've played on before? How are you feeling about the players that you're with?
We'll compare it more to last year. I played in Academy. I had a lot of rookies. This year I have less rookies, so it's a bit less teaching about like the small, like the bigger picture. It's more about the minute details. So, for example, today, like when we messed up in the first game we messed up our assignment and positioning before the game, it's easier to fix than like just saying like you have to do this next time and like tell me to do this, because everything else is done right. So there's less like working around stuff, and it's easier to fix it.
Okay. Then with that being the current vibe of the team, how do you think Dignitas is going to do overall in NACL, especially with this new look with adding some more teams?
I think we're one of the better teams. I don't know how well we'll do, and like the format's kind of weird where like everyone's in playoffs anyway, so like I mean we're just trying stuff. Like we're not scared of like we played Brand Nami the other day, so like we're not scared of like just trying some stuff now because playoffs is kind of guaranteed. So we're just doing whatever we can, and I think we'll place probably pretty high. Maybe we'll win. We'll see.
Hey, we got it. I appreciate that you want to try out some funny things, just kind of limit test a little bit, because it definitely makes our job a lot more fun on our end. So then, is there anything in particular roster that you really want to be putting to the test? Any little spoilers, or is that all something that we have to wait for the future?
See what happens. Honestly, I go by the kind of person anyways. So before the game, I was reading some One Piece, and like before the match, they were probably trying their asses off, probably 7 solo queues today before the matches, like preparing their draft for 3 hours while I was just reading the volume like 770 of One Piece. So good job, guys. You still got gapped, so all that matters.
Damn. Okay. Harsh words. And I do gotta say, always love going through your Twitter, and seeing the words that you have for everyone else out there. Is there anyone in particular that you're already thinking in your head that's going to get a tweet dedicated to them after today's game?
I'm not sure, but I know the Jews. I sent him good luck, have fun with like a little funny picture, and he sent me a picture of him and Breezy like a middle finger. And then after game 1, I sent him one of me and ZZ with a middle finger. So that was pretty funny. But I mean, their bot kind of lane swapped level 5, and then game 2 they were 50 CS down. So I mean, they were taking the skill matchups and couldn't take it. So it was really funny. They were not very good. And after the first game, when we pushed them out of lane and the Ashe died to my jungler, I typed "you're not good" in all chat, and I think that really triggered them. So they banned Ashe in game 2. That was fun.
Might just lay off them for the rest of the night. Okay, don't get yourself in trouble, all right? It's entertaining, but don't get any fines. So
it's just fun time.
So last thing I'm going to end off with, I know you do music. I'll ask on behalf of Kangas and Deserex, when are you going to make some music with them?
Well, I was supposed to make music with Deserex one time, and he just ghosted me, so it never happened again. But so that was his own fault. But it was going to happen.
All right, Deserex, way to ruin that one. Ivan, thanks so much for talking to me. Before I let you go, any shoutouts, any final words?
Shout out to my teammates. Shout out to Dignitas fans. And shout out to Deserex for ghosting me. And that's it. GG.
Ivan, thanks so much for talking to me. Have a good night. I gotta go talk to Deserex after that one. It's okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. Gonna be okay.
Okay, I can give a little bit of context. I'm taking Rafa down with me. I sent Rafa a demo, and Rafa was supposed to reply with what he thought was good for that demo, and he never did. We both go down together, but Diamond gets to stay up at least.
You're the one that was name dropped. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a go down together. That sounds like
this year, at some point, you guys gotta,
yeah.
Do the music.
We're going to make that a thing. We're going to make that a thing for sure. We can't miss that. Diamond's still in the league. I don't know how long he's going to be in the league for, but got to make that song with him. Don't worry, brother. I got you this time. I'm not going to ghost. I promise.
Also, I said it Kangas instead of Rafa, but now you're obligated to include Kangas in whatever music that you do. I don't know. Or you gotta make it happen. He'll
make a good music video.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, man.
It's been a long day, all right? I'm mixing all the names up. But it's been
We have new leaders.
Yeah, it's been a fun day. Heading over to the standings, I mean, we got to touch on these a little bit earlier on, but, it's us. Here, we got to see them take these wins, and they're going to be leading this leaderboard 6-2 for both of them.
Let's go Cincinnati Fear, still keeping their momentum going. They're one of the teams that I felt had the healthier mindsets coming into this league, not really focused on winning, but focused on improvement. But they're still winning. 6-2, first place, gotta love it.
There's some good stuff, and I mean, there's a couple stumbles for a couple of these teams. Down at the second half, but it's all about the improvements, and we got to see a little bit of those improvements and stuff come out today as well, right, Cubby?
Yeah, I think that Fear, I don't think they've had the strongest strength of schedule, but a provisional team getting 6 wins, I don't want to take anything away from them. That's critical. I mean, these guys are fighting to keep their spot in the league, and they've come out with a bang. So major props to Fear. I think that some of our front runners, though, are really starting to emerge. I still want to consider CLG as one of them, but I think the top of the table for NACL is really competitive this year. I think Dignitas, TL, C9, Fly, CLG all have teams that, if they made a run in playoffs, none of us would bat an eye or be surprised. And that's talking early season before teams come together and before teams like FlyQuest or EG even get their full roster in. So I think it's going to be a really exciting split of LCS Challengers League. Really excited to be a part of it and see how these standings end up shaking out.
And I mean, you're saying with Fear, too, they're fighting to not get relegated. I think they're beyond that. I think it's just fighting to be at the top of the league and to prove some other things. Because how they've been doing, no, they've been pretty doing.
Why not?
We can agree to disagree on this one. Maybe they won't be top, but they're doing damn good.
First Proving Grounds, no backing whatsoever. Why not have Fear be our first NACL champions? Get out of here, Cubby. I want to dream.
You know what? They split games with TLC, but I need to see more. All right, I need to see them go up against more contenders in the league. I will say that. But again, provisional team, very impressive. Just want to see if they're worth their medal if they get tested a little.
Hey, the first week or two is always the week where teams are in the dust off their shoulders.
solo killed Bradley,
they're getting it out of their system, and I mean, they're out here looking okay. Maybe it's a little bit of copium at the end of the stream, but honestly, I feel like with NACL and everything going on, there is a lot to look forward to. And thank you, too, for joining me on that wild ride today. It has been a lot of fun. I know we're all talking about hot wings after this. That's still the plan.
I'm getting wings, man. Yeah, Sierra, we're gonna play some TFT and get some wings. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what the night holds.
I'm got a
done,
barbecue
guys.
Oliver's not far from here, so
Happy
I'm getting
weekend.
Korean barbecue wings.
Oh, that does sound good.
I'm jealous. It's gonna be a great night. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Have fun with the raid. We'll see you all again tomorrow for another great day of LCS Challengers.